Hello, Fallooma Fikshunl here for Dramatized, Fictitious books. Yes, it used to be Dramatized, Fictitious novels, but the title's been changed to books because we want to present all kinds of books, just not novels. Although today's program will concern a novel, but this, I might decide to dramatize a biology book or something, or perhaps a physics book. Who knows where that will go? Probably in the ash can or whatever. Anyway, I, Fallooma Fikshunl, on behalf of Dr. Dreame, who allows me to occasionally do this program on behalf of his program, and this novel, this fictitious novel, is entitled Ganggia the Gangster by Grey Goop, Grey Poop. Interesting name, yes. But what can you expect from these fictitious authors? Anyway, we're going to go to chapter 1, page 2, paragraph 3. The chapter is entitled Entertaining an Invisible Police Informer. Ganggia and Thakak sat in the living room, sipping their respective drinks. Thakak, his fling-flang, and Ganggia, her green wine. As he finished his drink, he turned to Ganggia and said, "Oh, why do you think that the invisible police is checking us out? I mean, what gives you the idea that this is going on anyway?" Ganggia turned to him as she sat down her glass of wine and said, "'Cause you're an informer for." Well, he was totally surprised. He was so surprised as he looked at her that he didn't see the assassin robot coming up behind him and taking its hands and putting them around his neck and crushing it, thus suffocating him. Ganggia looked at what had happened as the robot walked out of the room. She just sat there and said to herself, "Well, I think I'm going to check out my legit paper doll biz." Yeah. As she sat there, smoking her flit-flat, inhaling and exhaling, and opened the door and walked outside and let the sun cross her beautiful face. Now we're going to skip ahead to chapter 11, page 111, paragraph 3. It's a chapter entitled Death in a Warehouse. Suckbutt had his 597.3 blaster trained on poor Ganggia, but at the same time he pointed it at Fluffia's head, who was right next to him, and he held her in his left arm and pushed the blaster against the poor girl's temple. Read that wrong, had a little typo, I think, yes. A fictitious typo, yes. So, she was very worried as she looked at Ganggia and then looked at Suckbutt. And Suckbutt said, "I will blow her head off unless you drop that blaster." So Ganggia had no recourse but to drop her 869.2 blaster to the warehouse floor. Immediately, Suckbutt let Fluffia go, and she immediately ran into Ganggia's awaiting arms. And as they held each other, she whispered into Ganggia's left ear. And then, with her left hand, she ignited the mini-bomb that she had, to Suckbutt's unknowing dismay, had attached to his jacket, and pressed the button. And Suckbutt was all over the warehouse. Now, we're going to go on to page, chapter 22, page 222, paragraph 3, and this title is entitled, the chapter is entitled, Lost Loot, yes. As Ganggia sat on the floating sofa and filed her nails, she looked at Cartoonia and said, "You know, Cartoonia, the rest of the gang's kind of wondering what you did with all that expensive loot that we made off of in that art museum heist. I mean, it's a lot of dough, and, well, I'd just like to know where you put it." Cartoonia just smiled at her as she stirred a pitcher of Fluke-Snoot and Cluck-Cluck, and at just a touch of poison, and stirred the pitcher, and poured 2 glasses. And she gave Ganggia one, and she took one, and they both finished their drinks, and the precious art was never found. Well, that's all the time we have. Bye-bye till next time.